Okay. Hi students. In the previous class we discussed about the Coulomb's law applications part 1 and part 2. In this class we are going to discuss about the Coulomb's law application part 3. Okay. In the previous class we discussed about the force between two charges. If the separation between the two charges is how? The separation between two charged particles or charges is halved. What about the new force? F dash is equal to question mark. What happens to the new force? F dash. Clear? We know that from Coulomb's law, force, electrostatic force of attraction or repulsion between any two charged particles is inversely proportional to square of the distance of separation. If the separation between the charges is increases, force will be decreases. Separation between the charges increases, force will be decreases. Okay. If the separation is reduced to n times or 1 by 2 times or 3 by 2 times, force will be increases. If separation increases, force decreases. Separation decreases, force increases. Here in this question the separation between the two charged particles is halved. What about the force? Therefore, force increases by F dash is equal to 4 times of F1. This concept we already discussed in the previous class. Okay. Next application is if charges are doubled and also separation, charges and separation, charges are doubled and also separation is doubled. What happens to the new force? F dash is equal to question mark. How to calculate? We know that if the charged particles are placed at a distance r, this is q1 and q2. q1 and q2 separated by a distance r, the electrostatic force F is equal to k times of q1, q2 divided by r square. If the charges are doubled is nothing but q1 is equal to 2q1 dash, q2 is equal to 2q2 dash. Clear? q1 is equal to 2q1 dash, q2 is equal to 2q2 dash, and also q1 is equal to 2q1, q2 is equal to 2q2. This is q1 dash, q2 dash. q1 dash is equal to 2q1, q2 dash is equal to 2q2. Clear? q1 is also doubled, q2 is also doubled. Therefore, q1 dash is equal to 2q1, q2 dash is equal to 2q2, and also r dash is equal to, r is also doubled, is nothing but 2r. Therefore, new force F dash is equal to k into q1 dash, q2 dash divided by r dash square. Clear? Therefore, F dash is equal to k into, what is the value of q1 dash? q1 dash is equal to 2q1, q2 dash is equal to 2q2 divided by r dash is equal to what? 2r whole square. Simplify this equation. F dash is equal to k into 2 2s are 4 into q1 q2 divided by 2 square means 4 into r square. 2 square means 4 into r square. Therefore 4 cancel. F dash is equal to k times of q1 q2 divided by r square. If separation is also doubled, charges is also doubled, the force is F dash is equal to how much? F dash is equal to F itself. F dash is equal to F itself. Clear? Listen carefully. If the charges are doubled and also separation is also doubled, therefore q dash is equal to 2q1, q2 Instead of q1 dash we can write 2q1, 2q1, 2q2 divided by 2r square, 2r square. Therefore 2 2s are 4, kq1 q2, kq1 q2 divided by 2 square means 4 into r square, 4 4 cancel, remaining term dash is equal to kq1 q2 divided by r square. Therefore if the charges are doubled and also separation is also doubled, force becomes same, force becomes same. Clear? Next one is, next concept is for example, consider the 4 charges, capital Q, small q, capital Q, small q. 4 charges are placed at the 4 vertices of the square. 4 charges are placed at the 4 vertices of the square. Therefore, what is the electrostatic force or net force on charge small q? What is the net force on charge small q? Second, next application is, consider 4 charges, capital Q, small q, capital Q, small q. 4 charges, capital Q, small q, capital Q, small q are placed at the 4 vertices of the square, are placed at the 4 vertices of the square. Capital Q, small q, capital Q, small q. Clear? 4 vertices of the square. What is the net force on charge small q? What is the net force on charge small q? F net on charge q is equal to question mark. Imagine the sides of the square is, call it as small r, side of the square is small r. The length of the diagonal length is root 2 into r. Diagonal length is root 2 into r. Applying the Pythagoras theorem. Therefore, what is the net force on charge q? What is the net force on charge q due to this capital Q, this small q, and also this capital Q? Okay, how to calculate that? First of all, imagine capital Q and small q are opposite in sign. Capital Q and small q are opposite in sign. Therefore, the force between capital Q and small q is attractive. Force between capital Q and small q is attractive. Force between small q and small q is repulsive, acting in outward direction, repulsive. This is F1 A, B, C, D. FD, FDB, force acting in outward direction. The force between small q and small q is repulsive, acting in outward direction. The force between capital Q and small q is attractive. How to calculate? First, we calculate force at B. Force at B is nothing but a small q charge is placed at point B. Force at B due to C charge. Charge is placed at D. Charge is placed at D. Therefore, FDB is equal to, or F1, we call it as F1. F1 is equal to K Q square divided by, separation is root 2R. Separation is root 2R, Q1, Q2. Q is same, therefore Q square. K Q square divided by root 2R whole square. Simplify this equation. K into Q square divided by root 2. Root and square cancel. 2R square. Similarly, force at B due to A charge. Force at B due to A charge. Charge is placed at point A is capital Q. Therefore, F2 is equal to K capital Q small q divided by separation is R square. Call it as equation number 2. This is equation number 1. Similarly, force at B due to charge is placed at point C is capital Q. That is F3 is equal to K Q divided by R square. Call it as equation number 3. Okay. This F1 is acting in outward direction because similar charges are repulsing each other. Okay. And force between capital Q and small q charge are opposite in sign. Therefore, they attract each other. The net resultant force of capital Q due to these two charges, capital Q charges, net force, net resultant force between F2 and F3. This is F2 and this is F3. F2 and F3, two forces. This is F2, and F3. F2 and F3. What is the result? Magnitude of resultant force? Angle is 90 degree. We know the equation. F net is equal to resultant force is equal to square root of F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 cos theta. Apply that equation, we will get the answer. One is like this. F23 is the resultant force in this direction. F23, that is equal to square root of F2 is K capital Q small q divided by R square whole square plus K capital Q small q divided by R square whole square plus 2 F2 and F3 is same. Therefore, 2 into K Q small q divided by R square whole square. Cos 90 is 0. 0 into everything is 0. This term becomes 0. Remaining terms are K Q small q divided by R square into R square whole square. Therefore, F23 is equal to square root of 2 times of, if we call it as F2 is equal to F3 is equal to F, simply we call it as F. F2 is equal to F3 is equal to F. Therefore, root 2 F is the answer. Root 2 F is the answer. F23 is equal to root 2 F. Therefore, resultant force between F2 and F3 is root 2 F. Therefore, net resultant force on Q is equal to this is F23 acting in this direction towards D, but FDB is acting in outward direction. Therefore, angle between these two is 180 degree. Okay, 180 degree. Therefore, net resultant F net is equal to square root of resultant between FDB and F23. FDB and F23. Therefore, these two forces acting in the opposite direction. Therefore, F net can be written as FDB plus F23 is equal to 0. FDB plus F23 is equal to 0 because both the forces acting in opposite direction. Therefore, FDB is equal to minus F23. FDB is equal to minus F23. FDB is equal to what? FDB is equal to first one F1 K Q square divided by 2 R square, that is equal to F23 is root 2 into F. root 2 into f. F is equal to k q square divided by k. F is equal to k capital Q small q divided by r square. Therefore, k capital Q small q divided by r square. Small q cancel, k cancel, r square cancel. Remaining terms of q is equal to 2 root 2 into capital Q. 2 root 2 into capital Q. Okay. Capital Q is equal to minus 2 root 2 into capital Q. Answer is, if Q is equal to, what is the value of Q? Q is equal to minus 2 root 2 Q. The net resultant force on the charge Q is 0. Question is like this: if 4 charges capital Q small q are placed at the 4 corners of the sphere, what about the net force is to be 0 on Q? What about the charge? Charge is equal to Q is equal to minus 2 root 2 into Q. This is about the application of Coulomb's law. And next question is, if 4 charges capital Q, 2Q, 3Q and 4Q, capital Q, 2Q, 3Q and 4Q are placed at the 4 vertices of the sphere. What about the net force at the center of the sphere if small q charge is placed? This is capital Q, 2Q and 3Q, 4Q. If we place a charge small q at the center of the sphere, what is the net force on the charge placed at the center? Therefore, the sides of the sphere is A, B, C, D. Capital Q charge is placed at, what is this A? 2Q is placed at B, 3Q is placed at D, and 4Q charge is placed at D, and the small q charge is placed at point O, at the center. What is the net force on charge placed at the center? How to calculate? We know that the force between Q and 3Q charge, the electrostatic force between Q and 3Q charge, they are same. Magnitude is different, but the sign is same. Repels each other. Angle is 180 degree. So that applying the magnitude of resultant force formula, we will get F1 is equal to force between Q and 3Q charge is 2F. Okay. Similarly, 2F and acting in which direction? Towards A. Similarly, force between 2Q and 4Q charge, 2Q and 4Q charge is 2F. This is also 2F because these two are opposite similar charges, repels each other. These two are similar charges. Sign is also same, magnitude is different. Sign is also same, magnitude is different. Here also sign is also same, magnitude is different. Similar kind of charges repels each other. Opposite kind of charges attracts each other. Here force between two charges Q and 3Q, same sign, repulsion. Here also same sign, repulsion. 2F is the resultant force at point O due to Q and 3Q charge, and also 2Q and 3Q charge. This force acting in which direction? Towards B. Towards A and towards B. Therefore, the net resultant force center of the square is given by this force F1 and this is F2. We call it as this is F1 and this is F2. Resultant is acting in this direction. Therefore, F net is equal to angle is how much? 90 degree. Angle between F1 and F2 is 90 degree. Cos 90 is 0. Cos 90 is 0. Therefore, square root of F1 is how much? 2F whole square plus 2F whole square. Simplify this equation. We will get the answer 4F square plus 4F square. 4F square plus 4F square is 8F square. F net is equal to square root of 8F square. F net is equal to root 8 into F. F net is equal to root 8 is nothing but root 8 is 2 root 2 into F is equal to K capital Q small q divided by separation. This is length. Distance between these two is L by root 2. L divided by root 2. Okay. Therefore, L by root 2 whole square. F net is equal to 2 root 2 into K capital Q small q divided by L square whole divided by root 2 whole square. Square root cancel. Therefore, this term becomes 2 only. 2. Okay. Next, simplify this equation. F net is equal to 2 root 2 into K cube square. K cube small q divided by L square. And this term becomes 1 divided by 2. This term goes to numerator. F net is equal to 4 root 2 K Q small q divided by L square is the answer. If the side of the square is L, 4 root 2 K Q small q divided by L square is the answer. Okay, next application is, if we consider 5 similar charges placed at the 5 vertices of the regular hexagonal. If I place a minus q charge at the center of the regular hexagonal, then force becomes regular hexagonal. Hexa means how many sides? 8. Right? 8 sides? No, 6 sides. Octa means 8. Okay. 5 charges are placed. 5 similar charges, small q, and here also small q is placed at the 5 vertices of the regular hexagon. Therefore, if you place a minus q charge at the center, net force becomes what? These are the 5 charges are placed in the 5 vertices of the hexagon. If you place minus q charge at the center of the hexagon, what is the net force? Imagine. If I consider a 6th charge is placed at q. Imagine if I place a 6th charge at the 6th vertices of the hexagon, what is the net force? 0. Therefore, capital F is the force at the center O due to 5 charges. Okay. If I place a sixth charge at the six vertices of the hexagon, the force small f is equal to force at O due to sixth charge. Therefore, if you place a sixth charge at the six vertices of the hexagon, net force F plus small f is equal to 0. F net is equal to what? 0. Therefore, F is equal to minus F. F is equal to minus F. What is the force between Q charge and minus Q charge? Therefore, F is equal to minus of K Q square divided by side is L. Call it as L meter. Therefore, L square. K Q square divided by L square. What is the distance between these two? Distance K Q square divided by L square. This is also L distance. This is also L distance. K Q square divided by L square is the right answer. Therefore, F is equal to K Q square divided by L square is the right answer. Clear? If I place a six charge at the six vertices of the hexagon, force at O due to six charge is equal to K Q square divided by L square. This is L. This length is also L. Okay. Next question is, for example, a charge Q is divides into. A charge Q is next application. A charge capital Q is divides into Q1 and Q2. Q1 and Q2 are separated by a distance capital R. Therefore, the maximum force of repulsion between them will occur. Only when Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to how much? Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to how much? Okay. Next application. If capital Q is divided into two parts, one is Q1 and another one is Q2. That two charges are separated by a distance capital R. The maximum repulsive force between them will occur only when Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to how much? Q is divided into capital Q is divided into two parts. One is Q1, another one is Q2. One is Q1 and another one is Q2. From this equation we can write Q1, Q2. Simplify. Q1 is equal to Q2 minus Q. Q1 is equal to capital Q minus Q2. Therefore, when two charges Q1 and Q2 are separated by a distance R, only when the maximum repulsive force between them is equal to. How to calculate? F is equal to K Q1 Q2 divided by R square. Separation is R. Therefore, instead of Q1 we can write Q minus Q2. F is equal to K into. Instead of Q1 we can write Q minus Q2. Q minus Q2 into Q2 divided by R square. F is equal to K into Q into Q2. K into Q into Q2 minus K into Q2 square divided by R square minus K into Q2 square divided by R square. Okay. The maximum repulsive force between two charges occurs only when F is maximum means F is equal to maximum is nothing but d dF divided by dQ2 is equal to 0. dF divided by dQ2 is equal to 0. Okay, differentiate this equation. dF divided by dQ2 is equal to, K is constant, Q is also constant, differentiation term is Q2, okay, and R square is also constant. K into small q into Q means Q2. Q2 differentiation is 1. Differentiation of Q2 is 1. KQ divided by R square minus KQ2 square. K is constant and R square is also constant. Take outside. Differentiation of X square is 2x. Differentiation of Q2 square is 2Q2. 2Q2. Therefore, K is constant, R is also constant. Here K is also constant, R is also constant. K R square is common term. Take outside. dF divided by dQ2 is equal to K divided by R square is common term. Take outside. Remaining terms are Q minus 2Q2. Q minus 2Q2. The force is maximum only when condition is dF divided by dQ is 0. If dF divided by dQ is 0 लिया तो 0 is equal to KQ square divided by R square is K divided by R square into Q minus 2Q2. Therefore this term is also 0. Okay. Therefore 0 is equal to Q minus 2Q2. Q2 comes to this side. 2Q2 is equal to Q. Therefore Q2 is equal to Q divided by 2. The maximum force occurs only when Q2 is equal to Q by 2 or Q1 is equal to Q by 2. Q1 is equal to Q by 2 or Q2 is equal to Q by 2. Q1, Q2 is equal to Q by 2. Okay. Next observation is, for example, consider two charges. One plus 1 microcoulomb and another one is plus 5 microcoulomb. Plus 1 microcoulomb and plus microcoulomb. Plus 5 microcoulomb. Plus 1 microcoulomb and plus 5 microcoulomb. What is the repulsive force? Ratios of repulsive force of each charges. Ratios of repulsive force of each charge is 1:1. 1:1 because each force repels with the same magnitude. The ratio is 1:1. For example, another one question is, consider 5 microcoulomb charge plus 5 microcoulomb charge and plus 15 microcoulomb charge. Plus 5 microcoulomb charge and plus 15 microcoulomb charge. Which charge repels the other with greater force? Which charge repels the other with greater force? Because these two forces are positive charges. These two charges are positive. Therefore, repulsive force between these two charges is same because F12 is equal to F21. This Coulomb's law also applicable for Newton's third law. Coulomb's law can be derived from Newton's third law also. F12 is equal to F21. This is also similar to Newton's third law of motion because force on first charge due to second charge is equal to force on second charge due to first charge. Therefore, force on first charge due to second charge is F12 is equal to charge K into charge is 5 into 15 into microcoulomb. Micro means 10 to the power of -6 whole square divided by the separation is simply we call it as R square. Similarly, F21 is equal to K into 5 into 15 into 10 to the power of -16 whole square divided by R square. F12 is equal to F1 is equal to same. Therefore, both the forces repulse with the same magnitude. Therefore, repulsive force is same. Here also, the ratios between these two forces is 1:1. 1:1. Next one is Next question is, a charge Q1 exerts some force on second charge Q2. Charge Q1 exerts a force on charge Q2. Charge Q1 exerts some force on charge Q2. Charge Q2. If third charge is brought near, the force of Q1 exerted on Q2 is, for example, Q1 exerts a force on Q2. If we introduce the third charge Q3, what happens to the force between these two? Force is independent of Q3. Force between Q1 and Q2 is independent of Q3. Therefore, force remains same. Force remains same. Next one is, the ratio of forces between two small spheres. The ratios of forces between two small spheres with constant charge. First one, in A and in medium of dielectric constant K. A charges is placed in A. What about the force? A charges is placed in a medium of dielectric constant K. What is the ratios? Therefore, consider two charges Q1 and Q2 separated by distance R. If first concept is, if the charges are placed in A, what is the force? FA. If the same charges is placed in second point is, if the same charges is placed in a medium of dielectric constant K, what is the force? Force in medium is decreased by K times in air. Therefore, the ratios of Fm divided by Fa is equal to, the ratios of Fm divided by Fa is equal to 1 divided by K. Therefore, Fm is to Fa is equal to 1 is to K. Fm is to Fa is equal to 1 is to K. Okay. This is about the applications of Coulomb's law, part 3. Okay. Next class, little bit concept is there. Okay. In the next class, we discuss about the applications of Coulomb's law, part 4. Okay. If you have any doubt, please ask me. Okay. Thank you, students. Read well, work hard. Okay. Thank you.